Alinga Primary School would like to acknowledge the land we meet on is the traditional lands of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country.
The Humanities teachers at Alinga Primary School employ appropriate strategies and mindsets that reflect the EEC1105 Professional Standards 1.4 and 2.4. The importance that our staff are able to have strategies for teaching Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students are so that we are able to emphasise inclusion of all students so that everyone has the opportunity to learn. Strategies we use in this subject supports the EEC1105 Standard 1.4 and are to use listening, speaking and visual images in our lessons. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders are generally more oral-based learners, which allows for all students in the classroom, no matter what background, to participate in humanities activities. It is essential that our teachers understand and respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The reason for this priority is to create more realistic and open-minded students, to encourage reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. The strategies we use to establish this standard 2.4 includes giving opportunities to bring the community into our school setting, which will ease the transition from home to our school for our students. Also, by building a strong rapport with students, by speaking nicely and calmly. However, our teachers are to act as facilitators, so there is no noticeable differences, which assures the social norm.
Humanities in the Australian curriculum consists of 5 substrands: history, geography, civics and citizenship, and economics and business. Humanities education gives students the opportunity to understand who they are and to recognise Australia's past and current cultures and societies. Through studying humanities and social sciences, students will develop the ability to question, think critically, solve problems, communicate effectively, make decisions and adapt to change. The content at level 3 is organised into 2 strands: knowledge and understanding and inquiry and skills. The knowledge and understanding strand draws from 3 substrands: history, geography, civics and citizenship. So we will develop a historical understanding through the key concepts that are stated there, and to be more detailed, we'll study of identity and diversity in the local community beyond past and present. Students develop understanding about the heritage of their local area, including the importance of the country or place to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples and how and why the community has changed. Students explore the historical features and diversity of their community as represented in individuals and their contributions, symbols and emblems of significance. Geography. So the content in the geography substrand provides an opportunity to develop students' understanding of place, space, environment and interconnection. So things that we'll be going into will be like examining climate and types of settlements in Australia, the country place of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islands people and the neighbouring countries. Also students' mental maps further develop through learning about the representation of Australia and the location of Australia's neighbouring countries. Finally, civics and citizenship, so still under the knowledge and understanding. Develop understanding about democracy, laws and citizenships, diversity and identity. So we'll be drawing on familiar context and personal experience of fair play, different points of view, rules and consequences and decision making. Students begin to develop an understanding of democracy as a rule by the people. Students explore how individuals, including themselves, participate in and contribute to their community.
In humanities and cross-curriculum priorities, students are challenged to study their own identity whilst recognising Australia's heritage and cultural diversities and societies of both past and present. Australian humanities education concentrates on historical and contemporary contexts from personal and global perspectives, thus challenging students to consider the needs of the future, to think critically, resolve problems, communicate with purpose, make decisions, and adjust to change in our world to be influential citizens. Indigenous themes are taught throughout various domains such as history of Australia, geography in relation to the significance of place to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who belong to local areas. Such themes are also taught in politics and economics, where students are offered insight to social and political controversies. The Australian curriculum also acknowledges the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians, and as a means to bridge this indifference, encourages students to incorporate Indigenous themes and cultures by teaching about their history, beliefs, values and traditions. This aims to provide students the chance to develop as global and positive citizens by deepening their understanding and appreciation of Indigenous cultures. As teachers, it is essential that we respectively teach within the means of the outlined priorities and curriculum to ensure that our students are aware of the responsibilities and relationships between themselves and the wider communities.
The term pedagogy refers to the how and why we teach classroom content the way we do. It means guiding students socially, academically and spiritually. Humanities education gives students the opportunity to understand who they are and to recognise Australia's past and current cultures and societies. It also allows students to become aware of the interrelationships between humans and the environment around them, and the responsibilities and relationships between individuals and groups within society. At Alinga Primary School, we strive to create supportive, safe classroom environments that encourage all students to feel respected and valued when learning. In order for all students to reach their full potential, it is essential for our teaching team to recognise that a range of cultures and backgrounds are incorporated into the school community. The theoretical model that we surround the concept of our teaching is Gardner's model. This pedagogical approach consists of 8 theories of multiple intelligences, including musical rhythmic, visual, verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal and naturalist. For our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, this strategy of teaching gives these students various ways to connect their experiences and knowledge to classroom content in creative, stimulating ways. Certain teaching strategies like using more visuals or verbal language is commonly used when teaching content to allow for Indigenous and non-Indigenous students to be given more opportunities to learn. In our Humanities curriculum, our teaching team strongly believe in creating a sense of connectedness between our students to build harmony and unity to allow all students to relate their beliefs, values and backgrounds to classroom content. Alinga Primary School's approach is to promote reconciliation by focusing on Indigenous identities in the humanities domain. We aim to mirror the positive influence a collaborative classroom can provide to students that are challenged by reading, writing or speaking difficulties. Our pedagogical approach of a collaborative classroom is imperative as it allows our Indigenous and non-Indigenous students to discourse with their peers to achieve desirable outcomes. By utilising interaction in the classroom, it gives a sense of inclusion among students despite their academic or social skills. At our school, a place-based pedagogical approach is evident as we believe it promotes lifelong learners by connecting critical thinking to environment and the local community. A theoretical model related to our pedagogy is Erik Erikson's stage of development theory, as he states how external factors such as community, family, background and environment plays an important role in the identity and personal development of students. We are recognised by organising excursions to Indigenous locations in the local community. It allows students to have growth in their academic and social skills by experiencing a direct source of knowledge. When teaching, a pedagogical approach we often use is modelling. We ensure that we involve people from a diverse range of backgrounds in talks and demonstrations. This therefore allows all students to feel involved and supported in the classroom where they can share their feelings and ideas freely. At Alinga Primary School, our overall approach is to create reconciliation between our Indigenous communities by educating students via theory and pedagogy on the importance of a respectful, unified society that accepts all values and cultures and places and people. Our Humanities team understands that we are a powerful outlet to inform our 21st century learners on the significance of Indigenous history in Australia and why we need to acknowledge it.
Here at Alinga Primary School, we not only educate our students, but also ourselves as we experience place-based visits to various locations around Melbourne. both in excursion form and also staff professional developments. We not only get an insight into the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community, but we also are able to ask any questions ourselves which we are able to bring back and develop into our own classroom settings. In the coming weeks, your child will be participating in an excursion to the Bundjalaka expedition at the Melbourne Museum. This gives students the opportunity to develop a deeper understanding of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander unit by exploring artefacts, discovering new information, and studying visual demonstrations to extend their knowledge of the classroom content. Students will greatly benefit from the excursion as they are shown a range of representations highly relevant to their unit of work. Students will create meaningful links to the classroom and experience learning in an engaging setting. Artefacts will be collected by students to reflect on upon their arrival at the Melbourne Museum. Our classroom content mimics that we have seen throughout the years at staff PDs, some visits including the Shrine of Remembrance and Footscray Park Memorial, as we as a school like to produce only authentic and professional knowledge that we are able to provide for your grade 3-4 child. At Alinga Primary School, we believe this promotes further understanding and encourage learning outside the classroom environment.
At Alinga Primary School, we believe that assessment of our students' work and efforts play a vital role in enabling teachers to harden and broaden their understanding of their students' learning progress to ensure they maximise their full potential. Through a range of assessments, teachers are able to deepen their understanding of each student's individual progress and areas of success, as well as those that require more attention, as students are assessed through a diverse range of tasks that encourage acknowledgement, respect and inclusion for all participating students. Teachers are able to assess students' progress and understandings through the use of exploration of discussion by students. Show and tell and storytelling enables the opportunity for students to navigate their own perceptions and understandings of tasks within the class, as well as connecting students to each other, allowing them to expand on previous knowledge. This provides teachers with a detailed insight of students' individual progress and comprehension of assessment tasks. Through the use of creative visuals, students are able to formulate their ideas and understanding of knowledge through different ways. Teachers are able to assess how students use their time, adhere to instructions, how they work both individually and in group efforts, and how they understood and elaborate on information learnt within the tasks. This also enables students to see their own progress and use as reference in future classes. Our Grade 3 Humanities Celebration Day provides students, their families and teachers with detailed assessments of work achieved throughout the year and the overall progress of each student within the unit of work. It's a day where students can reflect on assessments and reconnect with what they have learnt and achieved.
The Humanities Department at Alinga Primary School believes celebrating our student work is vital to student learning, parent engagement, reporting practices and future planning. Our humanities teachers celebrate our student work in many ways. For example, we display visual work around the classroom, library and office. This gives our teachers opportunity to see students' knowledge, which we can then convey to their parents by reports. It also encourages students to put in more effort into their learning and their projects because they know it will be seen by many people around the school. For work that contains writing, meaning it is not visual, is also celebrated by having a classroom show and tell, which is when students are able to verbally express their work and knowledge. This also allows teachers to assess student knowledge and gives our teachers an insight of what the class may not understand so that the teacher can plan a lesson on that topic to gain further student knowledge. Lastly, at the end of every term we hold a Grade 3 Humanities Celebration Day. This is when students display all their humanities work they have created in the term and invite their families to come along. It is also a great day as it allows for students to value their efforts over the past term and encourages families to meet other families and speak to the humanities teachers.